Good evening, or, whatever, depending where you're at and when you're listening to this, as it isn't live. Ladies and gentlemen, or whatever you identify, if you identify with, hello everyone. There's something we need to talk about. Something that is almost folklore, or an urban legend to me. It's something I've heard about for years. Basically since the technology to take and send pictures to one another became available to the masses. I'm talking about D-Pics. For those of you that may not know what a D-Pic is, it is the art of a man photographing a close-up of his tiny, weird-looking penis. Taking and collecting photographs is a very common hobby. So common, in fact, that every 19-year-old girl with an Instagram account is in fact a professional photographer, apparently. But before we stray too far, let's get back to what we're all here for. D-Pics. Like I said, there's no harm in someone photographing themselves. But with the advance of technology, things have changed. These personal, intimate photographs sometimes end up where they don't belong. For years, I've heard girls talk about receiving these pictures without asking for them. Now, if you're in an intimate relationship with someone, and send a picture to your girlfriend or wife, or if you're having a sexual conversation with someone, those are examples of when sending a D-Pic isn't totally inappropriate. Those situations are not at all what I'm talking about. It seems there's an epidemic of unwitting females receiving these dick pics randomly. Sometimes from guys they know, sometimes not. Picture having a mutual friend or coworker and suddenly receiving a D-Pic from them on Facebook. Or picture one of these pics from someone you haven't even met and don't even know. This is what I'm talking about. Recently, a friend and I discussed this topic. Yes, there were quite a few laughs shared between the two of us at the time. But thinking about it more, it's really not funny. It's more along the lines of being absolutely fucking disgusting. First of all, I don't care who you are or how much you might like them, but a random dick showing up in front of your face is always going to be an offensive looking thing. But more importantly, it's harassment. The seriousness of this problem didn't fully strike me until I talked to some females about it that I personally know. Individuals I trust and know wouldn't embellish. And it turns out it was almost difficult finding a girl that hadn't had this happen to them. The vast majority of girls I asked about this have had it happen. This blew my mind. I was absolutely gobsmacked over this. I gave this subject little thought over the years until now, and always kind of assumed it was a rare thing that actually happened. But it's not. It's actually not rare at all. Once I gave this more thought, I figured there must be some type of action a victim could take against their harasser. I lazily looked into this online, and it seems like there's little that can be done. If a D-Pic is sent to an unwilling victim on a site like Facebook, it violates Facebook's TOS and may result in the harasser having their account removed. Or the victim can use the picture to shame the individual that sent it by exposing their weird, small, crooked, miscolored penis to whomever they please, which seems to happen somewhat regularly. Now, of course, if it were mine in question, I'm sure the outcome would be, more favorable. Mine sat up straight and developed good posture. It ate its spinach and grew up big and strong. Some would call it handsome, proud, even heroic. Looking at it, it's like watching The Notebook for the first time. Moving on. When I looked this topic up, I was particularly looking for legal action a victim could take, or laws against this, but they seem to not exist. Aside from an adult sending a pic to a minor, the harasser has to do much more than simply send the picture. Along with it, verbal harassment, or more often, threats such as rape, need to accompany the picture for anything to be done about it legally. This is another example of the cloak of a digital world that conflicts with the real world. If I went to the grocery store, got myself hard, ran up to a random girl, and whipped out my handsome situation, I would be arrested. But I can essentially do the same thing online or via picture messaging on a phone, and nothing can be done about it. And this subject angers me. I've spent my entire life making sure I'm not a creepy guy, or a guy that takes advantage of a girl sexually, and I'm proud of that. If a girl does not consent, whether physically or online, you do not proceed. If a girl seems unsure, you do not proceed. If a girl doesn't even know you, you sure as fuck don't proceed. This isn't about picking up on social cues, and there's no excuse. If you are ever in a situation where you're unsure of what to do, ask the girl, "Are you okay with this?" If she is, good luck, have fun. If she says no, or she's unsure, again, you do not proceed. And before anyone out there says, "Well, Spooks, you're just different, and it's easier for you," let me just stop you right there. I am a man with a healthy sex drive, which basically means I want to have sex with everything all the time. A high level of testosterone isn't an excuse for anything. And yes, men aren't the only people that can take advantage of others, but men are the topic of this video. What unwanted D-pics boil down to is the lack of respect for a female's feelings. The response to these pics can range anywhere from the receiver laughing about it to being traumatized. I've read about a rape victim getting pics like this, and it brought back those feelings of a man forcing themselves on her without her consenting. Despite being somewhat difficult to prosecute, I don't understand how there aren't more laws against this. So this brings us to the next segment of this video. Why do guys do this? Again, having a mutual, sexual conversation with someone is completely different. And it's understandable under those circumstances why two people would trade pictures with one another. But why do guys send these pictures to girls that don't expect or ask for them? While discussing this with my friend, we came up with two different theories on why this happens. Number one, it's something that gives a guy a thrill. Basically, the equivalent of this idea would make these individuals modern-day flashers. The days of trench coats and having to leave the house to flash people are long over. Now it can be done from the comfort of your own home, and you can take multiple pictures from multiple angles to make your micropenis look kind of average. But these guys don't expect any type of positive reaction from their victims. The only thing they're looking to get out of it is a sick, perverse thrill, knowing they have surprised or shocked the person receiving the picture. The same type of thrill an in-person flasher would get. The second theory behind this is a little different. While the guy sending the picture might still get some type of thrill, just knowing a particular female is looking at it, they're hoping for more than just a reaction. They're honest to God hoping they'll get a message back like, "Oh my god, your weird ass looking wiener is so hot. Wieners are just such an attractive looking organ of the body. I'm so turned on. Just look at how weird it is. Please, come find me, if you'll have me." Unfortunately for the idiot sending out his D-Pic, the odds of getting a response like this are slim to none. Therefore, the guy sending out the pics can't be selective. This is the beggars can't be choosers approach. Rather than only picking out a particular girl, like the guys in the first theory might do, the guys here know their odds of hitting the lottery are low. So, almost in the same way a computerized dialer pumps out phone calls from a telemarketing company, these guys have to blanket hundreds, if not thousands of females to even have a chance that one of them will respond the way they hope. In the odd case of a female responding to a stranger's random D-Pic in a way that results to some real action, it's probably not going to be the guy's first choice. But again, beggars can't be choosers. And at the end of the day, instead of just one person having the clap, now they get to share it with their new bud. As I mentioned before, it can be humorous at times discussing this topic, but it can also be something that's harmful, and it's totally inexcusable. But these are just a couple theories I developed between myself and one other person. Regardless of your sex, I would love to hear some more input. Do any of you have a different theory as to why this happens so often? Have you had this happen to you? And if so, how did it make you feel? And did you do anything about it? And for those of you that are really brave and have done this yourself, can you add to this and tell us what motivated you to do it? The mind is still such a mysterious thing in most ways, and it's fascinating to learn about. But if you're listening to this, you do have a mind, and before you do something that could damage someone, you should really try using it. That's all for now, guys. Until next time, keep your dicks in your pants and your cameras aimed on kittens. Okay, so I'm gonna go off script now for a second. I asked about 36 girls, I don't know, let's say roughly 25 to 30 girls, if this has ever happened to them. And every single one of them said yes, except for one girl. And these are girls I know in person. These are girls I trust. We're talking about like a 90+% ratio. But I also put a poll on Twitch. Not Twitch. Twitter. And it said, as a female, have you ever been sent a dick pic from a guy you didn't ask for? Whether it was a mutual friend, a weird coworker, or a total stranger. Whether through social media, text message, or any other format. There were 202 votes. 63% said no, with only 37% saying yes. Now, of course, these results could have been skewed. Like I said, I asked girls that I actually know. Girls that, I asked my sister. Well, I didn't ask my sister, I just know stories about this happening to her. So I didn't have to ask. I already knew. Which is not information that I wanted to know. But like I said, I asked girls. Ones that I could trust. And ones that I did not think would embellish or would lie. And out of the 25 to 30 girls I asked, only one said no, that it hadn't happened to them. To the guys listening, I understand that it can be very, very, very difficult to find a girl. It can be very, very difficult to fulfill yourself sexually. But there are ways to do it. There are people out there. Okay? And you don't need to find them on social media. You don't need to find them on a dating app. Social media and dating apps, that's like the absolute two worst ways of going about finding a serious relationship. Like, I'm sure it works every once in a while, but like, I don't have the statistics, but they're probably not good. It's probably like 5%, maybe, if that. But just go out and meet a girl and be charming. Make them laugh. Buy them Chipotle, and then you're like, you're good forever. But seriously, this comes down to absolute harassment. And you do not know how you're going to affect the individual, the recipient. So there needs to be some respect. There needs to be, you just use your head. If you are attracted to a girl, let her know. Verbally. You would be surprised how many times girls will say yes if they're single. And don't just go up to a girl and be like, hey, do you want to go out with me? Hey, can I have your phone number? Hey, well, do you want to get married? Like, start up a conversation with her. Mention something about her hair. Mention something about her shoes. Mention something that you like about her that most guys wouldn't notice, that kind of catches her off guard and makes her think, this guy's kind of strange. He's a little bit different. Be charming. Make her laugh. Have a conversation with her for a few minutes. And then ask her if she'd like to hang out sometime. Chances are you won't have to do this with very many girls until you get a favorable result. And take her out. Treat her well. Be a gentleman. Okay? Chivalry is not dead. Well, I mean, like 99% of the time it's dead. But chivalry does not have to be dead. It can still be applied. And trust me, if you treat this girl well enough, if you're a gentleman to her enough, she's going to want to see your weird little fucking miscolored penis. You know what I mean? She's actually going to want to see it. And do interesting things to it. That's it. That's all. I mean, come on. Like I said, if you are having a sexual conversation with someone, if you are in an intimate relationship with someone, that is different. But aside from that, you do not do that. There's no excuse. You don't do it. No excuse. And I want to see some comments. I want to see comments from my lady viewers. Have you had this happen to you or not? I want to see comments from all of my viewers on theories on why they think this might happen. And like I said, to those that are brave enough, even if you want to make a new YouTube account, just a comment, let us know why you've done this. Like, what was the point? Like, what was your goal behind it? It's just absolutely ridiculous. I don't like people being harassed. I don't like people being victimized. If I'm out somewhere and I see someone getting treated badly, whether it's a woman, a child, a man, I intervene. Like, I'm that guy. Like, you're not gonna bully someone in front of me. You're not going to harm someone in front of me. It's just not gonna happen. Like, you know, if you try to harm someone and I'm there witnessing it, you're either gonna stop or you're gonna have a bad day. People need to learn to treat each other better. People need to learn to love one another. There's so much hatred in the world right now. On a global level, on a governmental level. So why can't we find some peace and happy fuck's sake. Sorry, I don't know how to English. Why can't we find some peace and love and happiness between us on a civilian level? What's with the hate? There's nothing to prove. There's nothing to prove. There's nothing that makes you cool about treating someone else badly. And this ranges from sending random pictures to someone. This ranges from sending random messages to girls that are explicit. Or, you know, girls sending them to guys. Although, you know, if there's some, you know, good-looking lady viewers out there who want to send me some messages, you can go ahead. No, but seriously. There's no excuse. Okay? And the homeless guy on the street, he is no lesser than you. We are all human. Okay? You can't say that, well, if I was that homeless guy, if I were him, I would get a job and I would clean myself up. No, if you were him, if you were literally him, you would make the same decisions he made because you would be him. Okay, now you could say if it were me in that situation, I would act differently. Sure, maybe. But something I try to keep in mind, even when I get angry, even when I get resentful, even when I start to look at people and just say, this person's a piece of garbage, we all are who we are through nature and nurture. Okay? We were all born a certain way. We all had certain life experiences. And it led us to who we are now. So when someone says something stupid or does something stupid, that's just because that's the way they are. But if you're listening to this, you are capable of change. You are capable of bettering your life. You're capable of bettering your body. You're capable of bettering your soul. You're capable of bettering your mind. How much time are you spending on social media? How much time are you spending on Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat and like Twitter and whatever all the kids are doing these days? When you could be taking that time and doing something productive, like playing Fortnite. I was kidding. No, but seriously, there's so many missed opportunities of productivity. There's so much better that could be done in this world. And I promise you, if you go out and just do a random act of kindness for someone, anything, any type of act of kindness to a stranger, to someone you know, just anything random, Yes, it will benefit them, but it'll benefit you 100% more than it benefits them. I promise. I'm tired and I'm rambling, but I'm telling you the truth. If you're listening to this, you can do better. I hope my mic hasn't been muted because this is over 30 minutes long now. I'll edit it down. It won't be that long, I promise. We're not going to be at the 30-minute mark when you're hearing this, assuming you're listening. If you're hearing me, you can do better. In one way or another. Please be kind to each other. Please take others' feelings into consideration before you take action. Have some self-respect. Have some dignity. Be the best version of yourself you can be. And especially, quit taking pictures of your fucking small, like, weird, dark-skinned, miscolored, crooked, tiny penis and sending it to people that definitely don't want to receive it. Like, just don't do that. If you ever feel like that's a good idea, just like, know right now it's not a good idea. Okay? I fucking love you guys. I love all of you. You're all human and you all are who you are. You were born a certain way. You've lived through life a certain way. You've had certain experiences and you are who you are. And I love you for it. What time is it? Oh, it's only 1:04. It's actually not that late. It just feels later. I guess I can record for another 3 hours. So here we go. I'm just kidding. I'm wrapping this up. Guys, if you listen to the end of this, in the comment section, I want you to type, you can type whatever like comment you want in regards to this video, but then at the end of the comment, I want you to comment, I did, the words I did. I fucking love you guys. I got a new mic. I hope it sounds good. I'm excited. The cord they sent me is kind of fucked up, so I'm in the process of trying to deal with that. I think it's kind of working right now, though. Hopefully this sounds better than before. We will see. But I love you guys, and do better. I need to do better in so many ways. I need to work so much harder. I need to upload so much more often. I need to do so much more with my idle time. I need to get at least like to 90% of my potential. But that's it. That's it. That's what happens when Spooks goes off script. That's what you get. So sorry about your luck. Guys, I fucking love you. I'll see you all soon.